I'm 70 now, 70 years on this earth, and I feel like most of it slipped through my fingers while I was busy chasing things I didn't even want. I never thought I'd reach this age feeling so empty in the ways that matter. I learned something, too late, something I should have known when I was 40, maybe even 20. When I look back, I see a life made of moments I thought I had time for. I thought there'd always be tomorrow. I thought my kids would always be around, that my wife would always be beside me, that my parents would live forever. But time doesn't wait. Time doesn't forgive. In my 20s, I was ambitious, I suppose. Not ambitious in some grand way, but I wanted to be seen as capable, successful. I worked long hours at jobs that were fine, but they weren't who I was. I said yes to extra shifts, extra projects, because I wanted approval, my father's, my boss's, even strangers. I thought it mattered. I thought it would matter when I finally looked back. I married young. My wife, bless her, was patient, cheerful, always laughing even when the house was falling apart around us, which it often felt like it was. But I was never truly there. I was physically there, sure, but I was thinking of emails, reports, meetings, raises. I missed birthdays. I missed dinners. I missed quiet nights that she wanted me to share. I told myself I was providing, that I was securing our future. Looking back now, I realize I was just securing my own sense of importance while she carried the weight of living. My children grew up in fragments. I remember my son's first baseball game. I got stuck in traffic. My daughter's first recital. I had a work trip. I thought they'd understand. I thought they'd forgive me later. I thought there would be more time. But forgiveness doesn't fill the empty chairs at the games, the empty spots in photos, the silence at the dinner table where I should have been laughing with them. And it wasn't dramatic. There was no single moment of cruelty. It was quiet. It was ordinary. It was choosing one more report over a conversation, one more meeting over a bedtime story. Those small choices stacked up, year after year, like dust on furniture. You don't notice it at first, but eventually it's all you see. I didn't realize the cost until she was gone. My wife died 5 years ago, a sudden illness, nothing we could have predicted. I was working that day, again, and I didn't get there in time. I held her hand in the hospital, yes, but I had missed years of truly holding her in life, and I felt, in a way I can't describe, that I had failed her completely. Not in some spectacular headline-grabbing way, but in the quiet ways that build the texture of a life. My kids visit sometimes. They're polite, they're loving in the way that distant people are loving. But the closeness, the effortless warmth we might have had, it's gone. We're strangers who share memories instead of moments. I can't blame them entirely. I chose work over them so often they learned to manage without me. And now the gap is too wide to bridge. Money, achievements, status, none of it filled the empty corners. I thought it would, for a long time. I thought being recognized, being admired, being secure, those things would bring contentment. They didn't. They brought relief, yes, from anxiety, from fear, from uncertainty. But they didn't bring warmth or laughter or the feeling of being known, truly known, by someone who loved you for who you are, not what you do. I'm not bitter, not entirely. I see now that I was human, flawed in ways that are common, but I am sad, deeply sad, and I wish someone had told me, or I had listened to the quiet parts of my own heart, that life isn't measured in hours worked, but in hours felt, that the small daily presence, the listening, the noticing, that's the wealth we spend, and the wealth that leaves us empty if ignored. If I could go back, I would have said no more often. I would have closed the office door, picked up my son from school, listened to my daughter's endless stories. I would have held my wife's hand in the kitchen while she washed dishes just to be there. I would have slowed down, asked less of the world, and given more to the people in it. I would have stopped assuming there was time to fix everything tomorrow. But there's no tomorrow like that now. The faces I miss are photographs. The laughter I long for is echoes. And the life I could have had, that life I glimpsed in fragments, is gone forever. That's the hardest thing, I think, the finality of absence. You can't reclaim the years you spent absent from love. You can only notice, finally, that you were absent, and that it cost you more than money, more than comfort, more than recognition. It cost you connection, intimacy, and trust. I talk about this not to chastise anyone, not to offer advice.